Hi, I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of One-on-One. I guess I should say it's Two-on-One. We're going to shake, shake, rattle, and roll with our guests today. I have Suzy Bishop and Julie McMahon, who are the founders of My Quake Bucket. So your company kind of gives a little bit of the title away in the fact that you're in the earthquake business. Earthquake preparedness business. But both of you have illustrious careers behind you. What made you decide that you wanted to get into the earthquake bucket business? So, Suzy, let's start with you.
I think it found us. I mean, you know, we knew each other from business, and we just felt we needed to do more for the community. Mm-hmm. So we kind of collaborated and said, you know, what are your concerns? You know, what are my concerns? And we came up with a plan. And it ended up My Quake Bucket.
Julie, was it something that, from some past, that living here in California, that it's been something, I mean, how did you land on earthquake buckets, or?
Well, Suzy came up with the idea initially and said, hey, this is an idea I had, what do you think? You know, and she had already started to work on it a little bit. And then I kind of came in, and I've had a career of 25 years in mortgage loans and real estate. So pretty familiar with the real estate community, and thought that this would really tie into my mortgage job, and that it would be something that it would be great to have the realtors get out to the community and really talk to their clients and give them out, you know, once they close a deal. So then it would really move that way. And this is kind of a little bit of our business motto. But, and so I really do feel like Suzy and I, you know, she came up with the idea and kind of brought me in on it. And then I, with all my sales background, kind of have elaborated on it. And it really took us quite a bit of time to put everything together, because we had ordered a bunch of different buckets that we had seen and other supplies, and just seeing that they were really not put together. They were put together somewhat poorly, and that we really wanted to put something essential together.
Right, and you know, I want to take a step back and sort of founded on this desire to do something for your community. Two businesswomen, moms, wanting to do something to keep their community safe. So you sort of came up with this idea of these earthquake buckets.
Well, she was in the San Francisco earthquake, and I was in the LA earthquake, which I lost a big part of my home. And ever since then, obviously it's in your mind.
Right.
And I really have always wanted to do something in that realm. And the two of us are about to, you know, we're about to launch on being certified. And the more we can know about it, and the more we can go to neighborhood watch meetings, and just be present and be helpful. So, and that's how we want other people to think.
So there's so kind of almost the two backstories behind, and we're going to get into the contents of the bucket, because that's what we're here, because we want people to really know what they need versus someone thinking, oh, I have water in my garage, I'm good, right? So we want to get into the contents. But a couple backstories is, one is the safety aspect, the awareness for preparing for something that happens in our community, and we just happen to live in a community where earthquakes is our thing. And then secondly, there's really a backstory here about being an entrepreneur. Here are two business women who got together and said, we want to do something different. We want to recreate ourselves. What can we do? And as women, we probably all marry our passions as well as we do our business acumen. So I congratulate the two of you for that. So we need to talk about the contents, because we're here to talk to people about what they need to be prepared for an earthquake. So you very methodically put together what you have to here today. So let's talk about why you have a first aid kit or a main gas valve shutoff tool.
Well, to start, we polled a whole group of people, friends, family, colleagues, and said, you know what, and this also was part of our marketing, we needed to find out what was going on. And so we really you know, got out there, pounded on the pavement, and found out who's doing what. And you know what? We found out that 93% of people do not have anything in their garage.
Or if they do have something, they have something that's expired that we have to keep turning over. And in other words, you know, canned goods that, you know, may have a shelf life of a few years and so forth.
Or a canned good and no can opener.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was us.
Yes. So, and I find that, you know, so many of the people that were out there really did, you know, they started something, never finished it, didn't want to go back out. You know, they're like, it's a project, a work in progress. So Suzy and I thought, well, gosh, putting it all together and just putting it all in one space that somebody can grab it or put it outside or put it in a hall closet out the front door, something that they can really just take all together and not have to worry about it in case our home comes down.
Right.
Well, let's introduce it.
Yes.
This is the Quake bucket right here. It's a 5-gallon jug, and it contains a lot of stuff.
Some of which is right here on the table.
And
right.
again, some of it, there's a lot more that is inside of here, and we just didn't want to clutter the table here, but we wanted to at least give you a preview of what's in it.
Well, to start, should we show them the porta potty?
Well, this also serves as a porta potty, and the whole idea is if your house came down and your pipes burst, you would need, and you were stuck outside of your house. This is really what it's made to do, is if you were stuck outside of your house, and there's liners that also come with it, you'd have this. And you know, we have some essential items. We might not go through all of the items, just maybe some essential items, one of those being the porta potty feature on here.
One other thing we should talk about is the fact that we hand-picked every single item. We purchased many earthquake kits and disaster kits, and we're like, okay, let's go through all of them. Let's see what we want, what's comprehensive, what's sturdy. And we really made those decisions up front. One
of the key features of this bucket is this unique flashlight. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it is a crank flashlight, meaning that you can use it without batteries. Is also a cell phone charger, so a universal cell phone charger, as well as an AM/FM radio. So it has 3 great features. It's really reliable and wonderful. A lot of the first aid kits that were in a lot of the different kits out there had just, you know, they were tiny little kits like this that had Band-Aids in them. What is a Band-Aid going to do if your ceiling falls on your head or you know, or you got cut in a severe way? So this one has, you know, your ice packs. It's got all of your gauzes, plastic gloves, you know, and scissors to cut off clothing if you needed it. So it is quite extensive. And Suzy and I really toyed with the idea of going with a smaller one, but we really thought this was a key essential item in the kit.
You know, we do need to move on from the products of it because I want to talk about access to my Quake bucket as well. People can find out about the contents by going to your website, but how do people access the bucket? How do they buy a bucket?
Well, they can either call Suzy or myself, or they could go to www.myquakebucket.com. So they can go to the website. And either way, we also will be doing some of the farmers markets in town in San Carlos. Moving on, and our peninsula is really our big market. So you will be seeing us at different events throughout the peninsula.
And then do you deliver the buckets to people's homes?
We do.
And then let me ask you this. The shelf life of the bucket, you have your food products and drinking waters. I've been hearing you say about 5 years.
Yeah.
So are you then going to trigger the homeowner that they need to renew certain products in their bucket? How will we ensure that we don't sort of let this bucket expire if we haven't needed to use it in 5 years?
Well, our idea is to have an email alert at your 5-year expiration that you are, you know, with the website, so you can go back in and order the items that have expired.
Okay, because a lot of them obviously won't expire. You just need to be refilling them. So what's your objective, as we just have about a minute left in the program, in this? Our
main objective is to be prepared. I mean, we can't say it enough. You've got to be prepared.
And really to get, I mean, here's another objective is that the peninsula in general is really our objective, to reach out to every homeowner and every business out there, because we are actually going to launch, our next launch will be a XL bucket for about 20 people in an office. And really to get to offices, the offices and to each homeowner out there to have something. And so really that is our objective, is to get everybody on the peninsula, which is our real main market, and then we'll move out from the peninsula really prepared.
This is basically a single residential bucket, and then you're going to be preparing a commercial bucket, if you will.
And it's a 3-day supply for a family of 4 is what it is. And if you have less people, then you have a day's worth more. If you have more people, then get an extra one.
Yeah. Has anybody brought up the idea of ensuring that pets have food inside the bucket?
We will be launching a pet bucket as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for bringing the My Quake bucket to us here on the peninsula, and I'm sure everyone will be checking out the website and ensuring that they are prepared. And great going as entrepreneurs in this business.
Thank you.
It was great, all of you joining us, and we'll see you next time on One on One.